Cheers. I didn't get my lunch, so I'm fucking back with beer because I'm done for the day at the corporation. So now it's time to fucking take what we did last night and make it work. I have really fucking good news. I only made one mistake last night, and that mistake is this item name inside the item script is what I am doing the join on. I should be doing it on the item name in the prefab folder, which is these item names here. That's my mistake. The interesting part is once filled in, these item names here were filled in. Everything else came right with it without any effort whatsoever in both the hierarchy and the files. I'm sorry, not in both the hierarchy and the files. Just in the hierarchy here. But you can see every single one of these things is filled in with all of the data from the database. And if I go into the fucking database here and change something like this fucking thing here, let's make it less of a description. Now it's less. That should be a permanent change that I just made if I save it. Right? It did. So I can refresh this, and yes, this is saved. So now I go in here, and I should be able to update from SQL. And if I go into the axe now, which is called Hatchet, I think, or something like that. Yeah. You'll see it's now a small description. Is that not dope? Or is that not dope? How is it dope? Let me explain to you what this means that we could do. This means, I'm going to shut this computer because it's done. I'm done now. The database is able to do a lot of things. It can store binary files and web addresses. It can store API commands, strings, and all kinds of attributes, and it's really strong. It's also something that AI can connect to and create things from nothing inside of very quickly. It's one of the quickest ways that AI can generate new materials in a database. It's very good at doing it. And AI already created all 8 of these, but now they exist in here exactly in the same respect and behave in that way. And that's what's changed. And when we decide to create 8 more, that's when things are going to get interesting, because this will already be filled in. All of this will be created by the AI, and all we'll have to do are create the images, and we should be able to get a sprite sheet from the AI with the names of the weapons and tie it up and get this to start generating items for us so that we have a lot of variety. And I shouldn't have to do a lot of work at all. All I should have to do is quality control. Just make sure that there's no shit going in that's ultimately accepted. So this is the tip of the iceberg, because proving that this MySQL database can interact with this Unity program indefinitely inside the game while it's running. The reason that that's great is not only can we make items in this way, we can also make the characters in this way. We can also make the environments in this way. We can also make other like non-weapon items, consumable items, props, other things in this way. We can procedurally generate everything, and we've proven that we can do it now because we've already taken procedurally generated items and values and assigned them through the Unity engine using SQL. That's fucking cool. So that also means, guys, scary but true, that means that we can scratch off, if Discord's an option here, it's always an option. Discord's always an option. We can reduce our roadmap down to almost nothing now because SQL is now writing to the items, which is what my requirement was. So this means that we are like moments away from grasping AI integration here. This is insane to me. We're so close. What the fuck is wrong with this bullshit? Of course, while I'm streaming, it's gonna do this horse shit. I'm disgusted. Fuck Discord. I don't need to change my roadmap. Anyway, in the roadmap, the next thing I have to do is I have to replicate the player and create a secondary controller for that player. I need a player 2 essentially. I'm going to go one more time through all the functionality of player 1 and make sure it all works. If it does, I will make player 2. One of the issues with player 1 is that player 1 has a bunch of untested body part scripts on it because all the body part scripts got tested on this dummy. So when we make the new character, some things might still be broken and we may have to remake the duplicate character again so that its body part scripts will be correct after I fix them all. Also, we're going to line up all the wounds correctly with these character models exactly. So that's the plan anyway. These the new sprites that we use with this are very likely going to be created by AI in the exact same shape as this one. This one's shorter and it is not it's not compatible with the idea I have for multiple character creation. Eventually we'll be able to adjust their heights and sizes in different ways, but we want to standardize everything to one move set, and that's why we're doing this. All right, let's get him in there and see all his functions and make sure that they like acceptably work. They don't have to be perfect, but they have to be acceptable. And I should have zoomed out of the game world. I'm an idiot. And these items are going to do different damage values now as well, so we can look at that. That's really interesting. My first is Discord, and now this thing taking forever. Alright, that splatter is beautiful. It doesn't get any better than that. Let's pick up our katana. Alright, and let's talk. Awesome. He talks. It comes right out of the spot. It doesn't flip. It's perfect. He can block. It looks a little weird when he blocks, but he blocks. We're not going to be beggars and choosers here. Duck works. Die works. Overhead slice works. Impacts work. Damage on the arm works. Death works. Ducking works. Jumping works. Doesn't look great, but it works. Walking works, doesn't look great, but it works. The um that's the most of it, isn't it? That's what we need. These impacts don't collide. Everything looks great. Like, he's got blood on his hands. He definitely has evidence that this crime was committed. If we want more, we can cut his legs up and stuff and see if we can really. That's gruesome, that's for sure. But it works. So I think we can duplicate him. Let's do it and see what happens when we do it. All right, so this guy will keep around. We're going to move player one here. I should save as well. And I'm not going to back up for this, but I'm saving. And I'm just going to make some of these disappear. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to make some of these disappear that I don't use a lot. And make room for our new character. They're unsummoned from the game world. Player one can start here. We do not need to spit this out right now. We can just get this gone. This thing is great. I love this, but at the same time, all it does is splatter blood unnecessarily, and we don't need it there. So we can just, we could put it off to the side, I guess. I'll get it off camera over there. I don't know why I want to leave it, but I do. So there we have some items that we can use, and we've got this guy, player one. So we've got our history here of all of our character. You can see how many upgrades he's received and how the same he looks. He used to look like this. He's changed just because he can hold any item. But other than that, he's pretty much the same looking at the beginning. But boy, player one Root is a very different animal. Now we have player one Root there. And that means we could take player one Root and duplicate it. There it is. Player one Root is now player two Root. In the scene, player two Root goes here. Player two Root will need a new controller. So we've got him here. He's there. Let's get him off of the player 1 layer, and let's make all of the children off of this layer and go to layer 2. All of you are now player 2. Excellent. So just from that perspective, it's going to move when I move. That's the problem. So I'm going to control this one, and it's going to end up moving simultaneously. See? It's like I got the Mario cherry in Mario 3D World. All right, let's get him off. The controller is on player animator right here. Player 2 animator. So I need to change this. Player animator's here. Alright, so we're going to have to duplicate this, essentially. All right, so to separate this out, I'm also going to try to add in gamepad support. This should not be difficult. So I'm going to try to just slide it in here and get gamepad support done. If I can, fantastic. If I can't, then I can't. But since I'm separating animation controllers now, I should probably get the gamepad input taken care of. But yeah, I can't believe we're here. We're very, very, very close. We are duplicating the player character. We are going to also have to change the say command to be say for player 1 and say for player 2. I know that the way that the say command works now, it just comes out of the speech emitter, but there need to be two of them. So it's going to have to be duplicated. We're at the duplication phase at this point. We've made it somehow. And then we're going to be in the validation and birth phase of this AI. And after we do that, we're just going to multiply everything by 1,000. Then we'll sell it. We'll tighten up quality too before we wind up selling it. We'll dial in these animations and things. This animator for that. Some very interesting things you can control directly by the player animator. These values will be changeable as we make the new characters without us having to do anything to the prefabs at all. You can just mess with this player animator. We should be good. Okay, here we go. Making multiple animators. Player 1 animator is coming up soon. I should get a controller. We have gamepad controls, guys. We did it. It is going to work. I think it will be fine. Let me get this controller put in here. So we're going to make new controllers for this so that we don't lose our progress. So this is going to be player 1 animator. Alright, so player 1 animator is empty. For now. It won't be long. I didn't remember closing Microsoft Visual Studio. What the fuck? I can't believe I need to do this, but I need to get a gamepad. So, uh, fuck me. I've got this one. I don't know if it works. I don't know if it'll count. Don't sound like I have a lot of confidence. And the truth is that I can't get this shit to work in regular commercial games. Half the time, this shit just does not work at all. Stupid gamepads on PCs are a chore. But I'm plugging this bitch in. I've got it plugged into this bitch. So now I've got a gamepad, the 8BitDo gamepad plugged into this thing. Is this going to be a standard gamepad that works with the fucking script that I just made? Probably not. Am I going to put this bitch on this fucking player right here instead of this script? I sure the fuck am. Alright, now I need to do all this crap again. So I have to define the held item, which is nothing, the item hold point, and the item anchor, and all that shit. So, item hold point and the held item anchor. There they are. Okay. Everything else looks the same. So it looks like we've switched animators on this guy. Now, this guy does not have the right animator either. He is player 2. He's here. His animator needs to be disabled, and we need to add his animator, which is player 2 animator. And it needs to go to the bottom. There's the player 2 animator. And that needs his ground check. And his fucking front arms held item anchor and fucking item hold point. All else is the same. This is the player 2 animator. Now I need to go into fucking Visual Studio and change the player 2 animator. If it's even here. It is. It's here. And we can put all this gamepad P2 stuff in here and save that. Now, do I think that's just going to work right out of the box with this gamepad right here? Fuck no, I do not. I have a very bad feeling that this isn't going to work at all, even with a gamepad that's not a generic, weird Super Nintendo controller. I think that there's probably other shit I have to put into Unity before this is going to work. But it might go right out the box like this. We'll see. Fucking A, right? Like, it's worth a fucking try. That's how I see it. Alright, let's see what we can do. Let's see what's happened here. We've done a fuck ton. Alright. It's frozen. Feels like the whole physics are frozen. Maybe it just didn't work. Maybe we're in trouble. Oh. This guy's not even moving though. Got any? Yep, we've got input axis P1 horizontal is not set up. See, so we've got other issues. I knew there'd be more setup to this. So let's deal with it. Let's go ahead and deal with these build errors and fucking get this controller to work. I think. So let's try again. I want to be able to get the build errors. There they are. Axis horizontal P1, axis horizontal P2. Edit project settings input manager. This is where you can configure the controls. I don't think I've got the right kind of controller on here. All right, we've got some things we've got to do here. The main thing we have to do is, no, we don't know what any of this is. The main thing we want to do is we want to use the correct input. I know some people do have joysticks, but we need to make sure no matter what, if I don't have the right input, that it does not just poop out on me, you know? And did Discord ever go? It did. All right, I'm going to change this. It's important. Still 410, huh? Interesting. That's done. Here's where I'm at. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have. I gotta go pick my daughter up. I don't have time to sit here and go on a bender tonight, but I can definitely finish this at some point, and I hope soon, or we get the controller working. So that's where we're gonna leave it today, and then Well, not today. I'm probably gonna be back after Yuna goes to sleep tonight. Not gonna pretend. What do you mean late? Fuck you, Bite Binge. You just finally show up. You're like a sleeper cell in here, and you're like lame. Well, it's what's going on. It's the end of my day, but I'll be back. I'll be back probably around 9:30 ish. That's the goal time when she goes to bed. And she might be super tired from being at her friend's house all day today, which might make it even better. So don't worry. You can see where I'm at, dude. I just got sequel done just now. And also, I'm moving this to gamepad support right now as well, but I'm not going to be able to finish that until next time, which will be tonight. It's good to see you, dude. Yeah, I'll claim my games. Thank you for reminding me.